Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden.
First opened in 2017. There's a look at the beautiful. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading him out, the MVP of Super Bowl 52, Nick Foles.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Foles. And right away, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Charles, he lost a fumble last week as well. So now back-to-back weeks, maybe you expect that from your tailback, but not him.
You're exactly right, because you work a lot with your running backs about how they have to protect the ball in traffic. But downfield, in open space, that's dangerous as well, because you may make someone miss, and their flailing hand can knock the ball away if you don't tuck it away.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 19 carries and even 60 yards and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
Now a pass here caught by Edelman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. DJ Hayden, the corner, in on the tackle. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. He opted to go with his scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Now how about that play? He took a possible negative.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a fake field goal run in for the touchdown. That can be a huge momentum swing.
And that's got to drive a defensive coach and a special teams coach crazy. Someone else running it in on a fake field goal when you're supposed to be alert for it. Terrific play by the offense, not so much by the defense.
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you, because it seems to be working pretty well.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Now Foles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, this team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
And here comes Leonard Fournette, the big, and I mean big, tailback out of LSU. When he takes the ball inside, people make decisions about whether they want to tackle him or not. And he has enough speed to get to the perimeter and outrun defensive backs. When he puts it all together, he makes the Jaguars' offense very difficult.
Only 2 there on the dump off. It's 3rd down. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, You fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
Here's Foles. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Six-man. Check curls.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Wentz to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the gun, it's Wentz. And able to find Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A nice pickup there. 18 yards. 1st down, Falcons.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Green brings it in. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Now a handoff for Gurley. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Todd Gurley, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
To Vecchio to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target. And now it's second down. 2nd and 10.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
He'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
180. Check 45 to Mike. We own them. We own them.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
On the run, it's Fournette. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. On the draw, this is Fournette. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Hard to believe, but the regular season starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Switch.
Fournette running out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
45. Mike, 45.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Check three.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target. And it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Foles now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It's a gain of 7, and it's a second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
To throw again on second down. Wentz. Throw left side complete. It's Wood. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
He can't hang.
On first down, Wentz. Oh, look at the juke. Dumps it off to Gurley. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Throwing now is Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Wood. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Wentz. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We begin with a good one in Nashville. New Orleans taking on Tennessee. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. Cameron Meredith, a touchdown reception. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Mike Williams, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Deshaun Watson. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football, and the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. Again, they run with Gurley. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well. It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Foles. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Fournette, a first down carry. He will push his way down to about the 14. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Foles. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Adrian Claiborne make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
The Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Foles. And that is incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 25 yards that time.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Calais Campbell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They run. It's Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Wentz. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, They don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
They brought in the heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Elsewhere, NFL scoreboard, third quarter now in Tennessee. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Drew Brees, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Fournette running right. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. They'll run it again with Fournette, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Wentz now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. To throw, it's Wentz. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Back now in Atlanta. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Foles now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Fournette. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Here's Foles. Open is Swaim, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Now Foles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Keelan Cole, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now. So you're not protecting a lead. So you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again. So maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Fournette. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. After the toss, well executed there to find the space and then eventually get out of bounds after a good game.
And for the toss play to be that successful, you've got to control the edge. And oftentimes, if you've got a tight end who can do that, that allows that toss play to get called often during a game.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Fournette. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Foles on the handoff, going to give it to Blue. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll try and run again with Blue. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He'll drop to throw. And he completes it to Westbrook. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Jeff Swaim, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Lambo on for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing is Wentz. Green brings it in. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Wentz going to throw, and finding the tight end Hooper. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go.
Wentz to throw for it on 4th. Finding Green complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It's a gain of 34. First down now, but that clock rolling. Back to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Green once again the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Throw left side complete. That's Wood. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Wentz to throw. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. He's back to throw, and it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down one. That extra point is not a gimme.
The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. They are on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And scoring again, the Rams have widened that lead a bit further. Jared Goff, he was on fire. 5 touchdown passes. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. From the 36, Foles. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking long for Westbrook. And that would be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hookup right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. What can Wentz do now with his drive? And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll look to throw here. Going for the deep ball. And this will be caught at the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover and boom, hit them with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. A quick throw finding Lee out wide. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
180. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check 24. Check 24.
They'll run with Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. This is Fournette. And he's going to be brought down. He needed to get to the 20, but he's a yard or two short. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. The kick by Lambeau is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goal is from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for the Jags, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.